guys, welcome back.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
I know it's been a long time, but we're here now, and
yeah, it's been ages since we filmed the last one. The last one was in November.
Yes.
And then Christmas happened,
January
and then
came.
January became May, and here we are. So we're here doing episode 2 of The Hard Truth with fresh faces.
except for Sonia down there. But we'll let everyone introduce themselves, and then we can get started.
Hi guys, I'm Sonia. So in the last episode, I was the one who seemed confused. Didn't seem to know what she was doing, desperate. But I'm back, and I'm back with a bang, and I've got exciting news, and yeah.
Good.
Hey guys, I'm Eric Max Power, stand-up comedian, trying to just get my voice out there because I like attention.
I like.
Alright guys, hello, my name is ALISTAIR. Well, I'm one of many things. I'm a business analyst, I'm an NBA analyst, basketball analyst, I'm an actor. I do quite a lot of things, and this is my first time on this chair talking the hard truths. So I'm a little bit afraid about what's to expect.
Don't be scared, don't worry.
But you know, let's see how it goes.
I'm Bernie, I'm Alice's wife, but I'm also part of the behind the scenes hard truth group because TIMALE and TAWONGA are close friends of mine. So we speak a lot of hard truths
All the
behind
time.
the scenes.
All the
so
time.
I'm happy to be here and contributing today.
Great.
Awesome.
So it's a bit different today.
It is.
We have questions
We've got questions in a bowel.
in a barrel.
We've got questions in a bowel. So it's because the last time we had to get questions off the top of our heads.
Yeah.
So this time we're trying to do professionalism, right? So we've got questions that are in a bowl. We're just gonna,
Pick one.
and see how how things go.
Right.
Let me shuffle. Oh, child.
Remember, guys, be as honest as you want to. There's no judging.
I'm gonna take a sip of it.
You're saying?
Okay.
It's a scary place.
Yeah. I need to pick the right one. So what happens if I don't pick the right one?
No, we just have to go with it.
Okay. It's this one that's opened in my hand.
Right.
Oh, child. Okay, so society has become more open regarding relationships, like having open relationships, swinging, polygamy, etc. Monogamy is being challenged. How do you feel about these new types of accepted relationships?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Probably in at the deep end, right?
Yes.
Yes, the violence. It just started with aggression.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm gonna have another drink because
right, I'll start it off and say, from where I'm coming from, I think we need to change the way we view relationships. We've come from the one man, one woman society, but we have to realize that with that, everything else is evolving. It's the same as society is evolving. We've got social media, we've got everything happening, changes in the world. There's not enough women and men ratio to suit everybody, so nobody can have the one guy or the one girl. So we have to change it up. We have to spice it up.
So are you saying you're okay being in a relationship that's open?
Yes, as long as we're open to each other. Yeah, let's be honest.
Okay.
Because I think
They're not no. I'd rather know than not know.
Yeah. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that some people would argue that men are said to be cheaters anyways.
Exactly.
It's gonna happen anyway. So you'd rather let the floor be open.
Some too.
Some, yes. Rather let the floor be open, and then you do what you gotta do. I'm doing what I have to do.
For me, I'm now at that stage in life where as long as it makes you happy, go for it. Because, men have a certain concept about relationships, and men don't want women to do what they do. So don't allow somebody else to define what makes you happy. You define your own life. You define your own happiness. And as far as I'm concerned, go for it.
I don't want to sound bad, but it's almost unrealistic to expect two people to satisfy each other until the end of time. I think it happens, but I feel like depending on the type of relationship you have, you agree to what you guys like. So it could be swinging, it could be bringing a third party in every anniversary, or it could be, I don't know, toys. It could be anything, but for you to have just that same position with the same, I mean, it happens, but you always need something to spice up your love life. So I think it then depends on your relationship and what spice means to you.
I don't know. Hold on. I think, right? I'm not into the open relationship thing, but I think if you're in a trusting relationship, and when it comes to this whole swinging and bringing a third party in and doing all these other things, if you are in a relationship and as a couple, if you decide that, the moon has hit the right way, today we're feeling a little bit frisky, let's go in and bring. Okay, and then it's a one-off. Maybe we do that once every Christmas or Easter. But our relationship, because anytime there's a third party that frequents a relationship, or a fourth party, or other people that frequent a relationship, it's gonna cause friction whether people like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I see it.
Well, because it's like, if you look at Muslim culture, the men are allowed multiple wives. I don't know how many of you in here are Africans, but our granddads used to have multiple wives.
Yeah.
So it always has been there. I feel like people are just talking about it now. But however, for me, I'm not having my woman with someone else. that is not running in my relationship. So that is something that I'm not comfortable with at all, because it starts off as fun, but then what if they develop feelings for
This is
that
what I'm
person?
saying. Bringing a third party in is...
Right.
But hang on, you're still bringing a third party in when you cheat.
Well,
Yeah, I
are
think
you
what-
though?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only difference is you don't want your woman to bring
find
in
out.
a third party.
I don't like how you're pointing at me. She's gonna watch this.
Okay, I don't know what to... I'm a jealous person, but at the same time, I'm open-minded. Does that make sense? Right? I'm open-minded, but I don't want to be in a situation where we decide to do these things to spice up our relationship, and then he gets caught up way too much, and it disturbs our relationship. And then even bringing a third party in, like if the sun sets the right, it depends where we are, but even bringing the third party in, is that then gonna cause a problem? I'm not against it, but I think it's about the relationship, the type of relationship you have with your partner. Is it solid enough to take those type of steps? Because if I'm in a solid relationship and want to take those kind of steps, like it's a one-off here and it's for us, I'll do it. But on a regular, I won't make a hobby or a habit of it.
If you put me in that situation and I leave the relationship, you can't be mad at me, because I feel you're opening me up to new things that I'm not used to. I'm used to my woman. So if there's another girl and then she does things to me that are different and like I'm on it, like what do you expect from me? We're probably gonna take the woman out of the situation, and I'll start meeting this woman behind her back. So it's a tough one.
Right, so my thing is, I believe that everybody has the right to live their lives the way they want. So if that's your thing and if that floats your boat, great. I think more marriages are destroyed by cheating than by agreed multiple. So if we agree that there's going to be a multiple of people that are in our relationship, I'm married to you, and therefore I'm all right with that, but that doesn't mean that I can't go out and have sex with other people. That's about jealousy, and everybody has their own levels of tolerance that they can tolerate. If you're a jealous person, well, obviously that's not for you, she says. However, I think, because society is evolving and changing, it's easy for us to stand back and judge people, and I think that's what we do, particularly in our community. It's like, they're swingers, and he has more than one woman, and the woman gets castigated because, like, how does she tolerate that?
Tolerate all that.
And our mothers, and I mean, we're from the Caribbean, so that's not something that's unusual to us, that your father has more than one woman, you have siblings outside of the household. And it's just something you learn to live with. I think in a relationship where people agree to that, it means that it's more solid. And if I know that's what you're going to do, if I know that's what I'm letting myself in for, I think it's a better approach than me being married and then all of a sudden some woman popping up from nowhere going, hey,
That's my baby
your husband
daddy.
is my
Yes. Coming to you as a woman to woman.
And I would have preferred that it was like, well, woman to woman I know, so if accidents happen, yeah, they shouldn't. But if accidents happen, it's like I'm not being taken unawares. I'm not feeling betrayed because there's an agreement that this is the kind of relationship that we have.
But on that point, that's the mistake that men make. Men think that they're so good at hiding. They feel like they can keep certain things secret and we'll never know. The one thing I feel that we're blessed with is a sixth sense.
Intuition.
And intuition. Even if we don't know or we don't have proof, we know.
We don't have a sixth sense, we have a seventh sense.
And then, this is what I
Women
think
are crazy. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's not a sixth sense.
We have a seventh sense. And because the minute you start doing
We know.
extras, we know straight away because the men don't know how to multitask cheating. No, they're not blessed
And they
with
don't
it.
think things through to the very end. They don't think the details. Don't you think it's better to just come out and be open? Yes, we can be hurt initially, but the fact that you've been honest and say, listen, this is what I'm doing, or this is what's happened, or this is the situation that's happening because of A, B, C, D, this is what I did. And so if anybody ever pops up, this is the situation. Let's fight. I'll be pissed off, right? I'll be pissed off, obviously. Let's fight. But I will respect you a little bit more. I'll look at you differently as a man.
But not all women think like that though, because some men do it secretly because they might lose that woman. Because not everybody cheats for the relationship side of things. It's literally, sometimes it's just to
Something you like.
get off. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's exciting. You meet a new woman and you're
Something
over
to
and
do.
done with. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, and they always come back to their woman. So
The thing about this question that to me kind of just made me try to really think about it was, okay, we're talking about society and the evolution of society and people kind of accepting non-monogamy as a thing today. You know, I think as we're speaking about it and as we've spoken about it, you talk about African culture, you talk about Caribbean culture.
Yeah.
We speak about, family units where there's supposed to be a level of trust and honesty that goes on, but the man then betrays it, Or in African culture, it's accepted that one man will have multiple women. So that's just an accepted thing. I think what we're talking about right now, we're in a society where, people are openly discussing the openness of their relationships.
Exactly.
And they're actually both sides deciding, I want to do this, I want to do this. And they are agreeing to allow that multiplicity, as you mentioned, to happen. And I think it's whether or not I think we are willing to accept that as the standard now. There's a lot more documentaries on TV now. We see a lot more documentaries about open relationships and everything. That didn't used to happen years
No,
ago.
never.
And I think that shows the evolution of society as being more tolerant. There's a lot more talk about LGBTQ rights and all that sort of thing.
Everything.
And people are being a lot more free to explore and want to try different elements of sexuality and all that sort of stuff. And I think people are being just a lot more open about it. And that's where, this is allowing people to do things together. But, to talk about what you guys talking about, whether or not guys are not able to multitask.
Y'all ain't able to.
I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not relationship. I'm not going to put my hand in any fire that's concerned. But guys do end up doing it, and then they get caught, and then it causes problems.
It causes issues.
Yeah.
Fantasies are fantasies. I think there's every man who, in the recesses of his mind, if he could fly it with his partner, wife, girlfriend, person he's sleeping with, to bring a third woman into the room, that's not unusual. Obviously, there'll be issues of like the relationship, how much I trust him, what it would mean. But I'm very much on the intimacy, sex thing. So I understand that sex is sex and intimacy is intimacy. I won't say no, because I'm going to be honest and frank, and this is what this is about. But there will have to be some serious conversations about how that transpires, who it is. We joke and we go like, well, you don't get to pick. I think if that was going to be something that we would even consider, I'm picking the person. You're not picking the person, because I know what you like, so I'm going to get something you may not like. And that's a bit wicked and horrible.
Would I do it in my relationship? I think it would probably need a little bit of discussion. You know, first to kind of understand what the boundaries are and everything. Bernie is a very willful person, strong person, and of course, you know, I love her. You know, she's my wife. And I wouldn't want to cross any boundaries that she would want to do. And of course, I know I'm supposed to be very candid and everything. Of course, I'd love to see Bernie with another woman. Hey, of course not. Of course, yes. But now we it's one of those sorts of things where, you know, we have to be very respectful to each other and kind of just see what works and what doesn't work and kind of go based on that.
But then, even on the same point that he said, like you said, you're open to it. So if you had a guy who wanted to do a same-sex relationship, would that change that dynamic?
Ooh. Now listen.
Listen here. Wait a minute.
Wait. Let me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because it is the same thing when she says, you know, you're open to it. So let's say, I say, you know what, I want to be in a gay relationship with men, but I still want to be married to her. Like, does that change the dynamic now?
As Tim says, absolutely, utterly.
For me, it does.
Yeah, it's a game changer, I've got to admit.
I
Because
respectfully decline.
I want to compete with someone, a woman who, because I'm going to stalk her, obviously. I want to know how does she dress? How does she look? Does she look better than me? Is she got a 30-inch? Do I need to upgrade from my normal 14-inch? Does she put makeup on when she goes to bed? What is it about her? But then when it's a guy, it's like, whoa, okay.
Like, what do you compete with?
The dynamics are
Yeah, plus
See,
it's like,
now you've kind of lost me a little bit because you said, you know what, this whole thing was about trust, about being open.
yes, of course.
But now you're saying you're competing with the other woman.
No, we always compete. With another woman, we always compete. Oh yes, I don't care even if you tell me to say I'm dating Timale. I mean, I'm going to be looking at her, Timale. So I want to see what her life is like. I'll be stalking her. Yeah, I'll be on this Snapchat. I'll be everywhere. I'll be looking every day. I want you to say anything. I just be looking every day.
See, the thing is,
even if it's not about competition, imagine you're with someone and then they cheat on you with the same sex. That's a bit of
he's saying that he's open enough to say this. I would like to bring a third party in, but it's a male. It's another
Yeah,
man.
because you kind of look at yourself like, so what's so wrong with
Exactly,
me
yeah.
that you wanna go there?
So
No offense to the LGBT.
that's about you and your insecurity. For me, if you want a guy, don't get me on this.
Potato.
If you want to be with a guy, that's not on the same page. It's not in the book. It's not even in the same library. That is such a different experience to me.
Yeah.
I would never see a man as a threat to our relationship because to me that's you experimenting. If you've always liked women and you're suddenly going, I just want to try a guy and see how that goes. So to me, it's like if I said a woman, I don't think he'd be complaining. Eh?
No, I was about to say.
Look at Eric's face. You chose violence. I'm sorry, you chose violence.
Nah, because on that one, yeah, because you lot were not making sense. Like, because you also said you're competing with the other woman, which I was like, all right, cool, fine. There was still jealousy, there was still insecurity, but you lot were saying as long as the men are open about it, you're open to it. So I thought, you know what, let me throw a curveball. So if it was a man, what changes then? And everybody was like, no. Nobody said anything homophobic, but it was just them ones where they just said they wouldn't know how to handle it. So I understood it because I've got the same view. If my woman started cheating with a woman, I wouldn't know what to do either because I'd be like, okay, so she's bringing toys to the bedroom. Like, am I supposed to wear a strap on now as well?
Why of all the questions would you bring that up? But I think he was just trying to get like, what's the word? He was trying to get like both sides of it. Because it's okay if you bring another woman in, but now, because we're speaking about society and how society has changed, what if your man wants to bring another man in? Personally, for me, it's a no. But for people out there, there's people that are okay with it. So I don't know why you asked that question. Eric, do you have... Anyway.
Yeah, I think he was kind of like throwing at me like, but why would you be bothered then if it's a man? But that's not it. It's just how it hits you. It's one of those ways it makes you feel, I mean, for me, it would make me feel less a woman because I'm thinking, he didn't settle for another woman. He went for a man. Why did he go for a man?
Okay, so Eric, I don't know why did you ask that question about another guy bringing in another guy? Eric. Okay. I mean, hey, that's all I can say about that. But for me, it's a no. I wouldn't want my man to want to experiment with other men. It's a no. Yeah.
Complaining. So why is it? It's about your own insecurity. And if you're open enough to let someone in, there will always be an element of jealousy.
Yeah,
I think if there wasn't, your relationship is not solid. Why would you not be jealous? It's the extent of the jealousy. I think that's the issue. And I think when guys cheat, it's the women question. Is it me? Is there something about me? Is it something that I did? Am I not good enough? And a lot of women don't just get, he likes chocolate ice cream, it's his favorite, but tomorrow he just wants milk chocolate chip. You know?
The thing is,
and I think it's the cheating that ruins the relationship. If there is some kind of way of negotiating and going, listen, I love chocolate, Sonia, I love chocolate, I want vanilla.
Time to time.
From time to time.
Yeah.
You know, it's about jealousy and it's about your tolerance levels for that.
Okay, my interjection here is we're talking about the guy cheating all the time. What about the flip side when it's the women who cheat? You know, how do we take that in? And I suppose as guys, if your woman decides to cheat or decides to want to have an open relationship, how do we accept it?
But you guys know that women don't cheat.
Impossible.
But usually, it's very hard for men to forgive when women cheat.
Exactly, yeah.
It's very, very, very hard.
but the thing is, with women, we I might be wrong, but women, if they cheat, there's a specific reason.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
The women just don't
Wake
look
up.
at a guy and think, I want that guy. No, there's something there. So you're obviously not giving her sex. You're not giving her money. You're not giving her attention.
Something.
You know, I always say with women, I think I had this conversation once a while ago. With women, when we decide to step out of our relationship, it's because we are done.
Yeah.
We don't care what you think anymore. We don't respect you. We don't care how you feel. We are completely emotionally detached from the relationship. We could have some obligations to the relationship and be there because of, but we're emotionally detached.
Done.
We are done, you know.
Women are different to men. If we are completely satisfied and fulfilled in our relationship, we have no desire to be with anyone else. Men are wired differently, and I think that's the other thing that we don't consider, that men have a different kind of wiring to women. And if we begin to understand that and realize that when men venture outside of the relationship or have these fantasies, it's not about I'm insufficient, it's just about how they're wired.
And sometimes we step out of the relationship and it happens, not that I've done it because I'm A1, you understand? But sometimes we step out of the relationship and for the attention. My man is not giving me that attention that I need. I've spoken about this attention. He's not giving it. He doesn't love me anymore. He doesn't care. We convince ourselves. We step outside of the relationship because this guy is constantly giving me all this attention that I need. And then when that happens, sometimes you realize, oh shit, I made a mistake.
However, so what about the women who just cheat all the time? Because you're putting all the cheating women in one bracket, like they've got a reason, but there's literal women who are just promiscuous.
Yeah, I
Who just-
think that's different.
Exactly.
We don't say the word promiscuous anymore. They like sex because promiscuous is a negative.
No, but that applies to both men and women.
Yeah.
But I think that people who have high sex drives, because promiscuity is a word that's been developed to make sex seem negative, and that's something that we've been taught in our culture, that sex is not something that we should enjoy, whether it's because of Christianity, whether it's because our parents say you're going to get pregnant and not finish your school. So for me, it's like women who have high sex drives, particularly in the black community, we're not allowed to say that because, my goodness, because you have to be a virgin when you get married.
No, I hear what you're saying, but it still doesn't answer that point of the women who just...
See,
No,
Exactly,
but then
yeah.
you're excusing
All
it.
the
But there
time
is
of saying-
women who
Yeah.
just cheat for the sake of
For the
cheating.
sake of it.
Like, yes,
Yeah,
there is,
but there is.
there is.
There are women
You're
that-
putting them all in the
Yeah.
same bracket, but there is
There's
women.
a phrase for it.
Yeah.
They're like they're addicted to sex.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
as soon as I step out,
No, they're addicted to different types of sex,
Sex.
and I think that is a thing about. I want something. I want vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, chocolate.
Yeah.
I have chocolate at home, and that's not enough. But I also think, to a certain extent, for me, in my thinking, if I'm not satisfied at home, then there is something else that I'm looking for. So it goes back to what Timale is saying, is that something is lacking. In the same way for men, something is lacking. And very often for men, it's very basic. It's a sexual, I just want another flavor, or I want something else. So I need a woman that's slightly different to the one I have at home. Whether it's, and I mean, I was married before, and you know, I'm a very strong-willed female. Sometimes you just want somebody who's not so mouthy and strong-willed, and you want a nice little passive woman who just like, oh yes,
Yes, daddy.
yes, daddy. You know, and you're not gonna get that with
Guys.
me unless, and I defer to my husband here, you create an environment where I want to be
Feel
that
safe.
person. So when a woman is lacking something, or a guy is, so it's all about you lack something.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying
Yeah.
is there's women that are lacking, but he's saying that there's women that just do it.
just do it.
Just like
Just
how
do it.
men, yeah,
Just
just like
Of course, there's
just
women
like
who
how
just do
there's,
it.
there's
Okay,
men
but then
who
again-
chronically just cheat.
Yeah.
Can I just say
No,
something?
but
there's
then
women.
when we get with men, this is the thing I don't understand, right? When I'm gonna say it for both parties. When a man gets with a woman, and when we get with men that chronically cheat, the moment you get into that relationship, you know exactly
What
who
you're
this
getting
person
into.
is. And the thing is, they get in there thinking, I'm going to change this person somehow. I'm the one.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's going to change this woman to stop. Or I'm the one who's going to change this man.
Not me.
You know what I'm saying? Because you go in knowing who she is. We always know. You know, when we've been with cheaters, we
know what's
know
up.
who
Yeah.
they are,
So it should
right?
apply.
And we are hoping,
That
right,
they're gonna change.
that the love, we're going to overwhelm them with so much love, kindness, and
And
love.
then they're gonna change.
But couldn't we just revisit that? Because don't you think the reason why you're looking at it as this, some women would just like having sex or just cheat for the sake of cheating. Don't you think it's maybe because you're only just realizing it now due to things like social media exposing women and cheating and stuff like that? But it's probably always been there. So probably we're at the same par with men. The way men cheat is the way women cheat. The only difference is
I
they're
say
only getting
women
caught
cheat
now.
more.
Yeah, but that could
Women
probably
cheat
be-
more than men.
Sir.
Like women will have work husbands. This guy will be bringing her lunch or whatever, a small thing. Not because you forget the emotional cheating as well.
But
You
what
forget
I
the
was gonna say,
emotional.
Like,
Let
do
me-
you,
let me give
is
you
that
a-
cheating for you? Like,
No,
A
that's
work
not
husband.
What
cheating.
is cheating?
Like for me, like because women function on emotions most of the time. All right. So if my woman is at work, she's having lunch with this guy, he's buying her lunch, he's buying her flowers, I am gonna take that personal. Because I'm like, why are you giving them the attention?
No, but sometimes like, I'll give you an example. I work in a very diverse environment where, like, I meet different people from different walks of life, different countries, and the like. And I've got close friends who, once my ex, I posted a picture of me and one of my work colleagues, and him and his family were like, she's even posting her boyfriend, but that's not the case. This guy is is Caucasian, but he identifies with black people, and he loves the culture, the music. And when we go out, it's like we go to these cheesy bars, and it's like this type of music, and he's like, oh, girl, we should be downtown, vibing. What are we doing? That type of, so at work we have a laugh, we have a joke, and so you'd probably take it as my work husband. If I bring food, he's the first to like, what did you bring? Can I have a taste? And then if he brings food, he's like, oh, try this. I tried this. I made that. So it's
So
like,
it's like-
that's our version of a work husband, because it's like your friend at work, that type of person that you can have a laugh with, and you go out, you can have a joke with it. But it's innocent most
You
of the
see,
time.
boundaries, right? Boundaries.
I think this whole
Boundaries
conversation.
are important.
Yeah, but
Boundaries.
there's nothing
You see?
No, but
there.
the thing is that, okay, if you're with somebody or you have a partner, then establishing what your boundaries are from early is so important, because you can have a friend at work, but you're saying something completely different. You're spending more time, because we spend more time at work than we do
Yeah.
at home. Yeah, so I have spent, the people I share an office with, I've spent more time with them than anybody else in the past 15 years in my life. Partners, family. So you spend a lot of time with them. So then acknowledging that there are boundaries, and if your partner says, I'm not too cool with that, you have to acknowledge that he's not too cool with that, or she's not too cool with that. And I think that's important when you establish those boundaries. And in women cheat is what you think is cheating. Is sex just cheating? Is an emotional investment cheating? Is certain conversations cheating? Are text messages cheating? My philosophy is, if there is something that is going on that you do not feel comfortable telling your partner, it's cheating.
That's all.
But for me,
Okay, so if you go to the next question, who wants to be the lucky? That's it. What does it say?
What are your feelings about your partner maintaining a relationship with their ex?
Ooh. Can I be the one to answer that one?
Hey!
Miss Violence over here.
Wait a minute.
You're
sitting with aggression.
Wait a minute. I'm bringing the violence to this.
Remember, she was all open and cool. Before that.
Wow. The thing I'm going to say is she's an ex for a reason.
Ooh.
Okay.
She's an ex for a reason. Now, if this ex has children with your partner, you went into the relationship knowing that she's there. She was there in the past. He's obviously left her and he's with you. Depending on how he's with you and how he got with you, though, that's another thing. Now, my bone in this one is like, why do you get affected by her? Because, for example, if you've got children, he has to communicate with her. He needs to make sure that the kids, if she lives with the kids or he lives with the kids, there has to be clear communication.
Yeah.
Now, if you're getting offended by the fact that she's sent him a message or called him at 3 a.m. to tell him that his son or his daughter is not well.
Yeah, but sorry, that's to do with kids.
No,
If
but
it's just an ex, there's no ties.
But this is not saying that if there's kids or not. If there's no kids, like, so address it on 2 points. If there's no kids, why did the relationship end? And in terms of the communication, what type of communication are we talking about? There's different levels to communication.
Yeah.
There's communication where she's messaging him at 3 o'clock in the morning because she's out clubbing. He's like, hey, guess who I met in the club? Type of thing. Like, okay, move it along. Yeah, boundaries, please, boundaries. And then there's messaging where it's like, probably maybe had a business together. And it's like, the taxman just sent me a letter saying, it depends on the type of communication that they have. You yourself will know. Again, our seventh sense will tell us to say, this type of communication is leading to somewhere else. Or this person just come out of the blues and all of a sudden it's like, I need to talk. I'm heartbroken. Or I've just broken up with my ex. And it's like, okay, so red flags. You women who are married to our exes, I was there before you. I left him for you. Respect me. If I've got children with him, embrace those children and embrace me as well with my children. Because without my children, you can't just love my children, not love me and my children. Take care of us. We are struggling out there. We need, and if I'm ringing you and your partner at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell you that the child is sick, don't say, she's being at it again. Your child is sick,
Sonia came with violence.
Sonia came with violence. Timale came with a little bit of violence as well. Not as hot or heavy as Sonia, but I think it's one of those things where I think it's all circumstantial. So certain people have relationships where they could a relationship ended, but they ended civilly. They ended maturely. They realized that they're just not the right persons for them, and they could probably say to themselves that we don't have anything romantically or sexually or whatever it is, but we do care about each other. We do want the best for each other, and it could be kept at that level, and no boundaries are crossed and whatever it is. And so I think it's a level of maturity. It depends on the level of maturity of the people involved and whatever it is.
It's a no. Exes, even if there's any of my exes watching, I don't wish you well. I hope you're not happy. I'm sorry, I'm petty like that. And if there's ever an ex that I'm okay, it could be one. I could be okay with one because of how things ended. It was beyond our control. But everybody else, I honestly go and jump. I'm sorry. It is what it is. For me, maybe it's my mental health, but if I look back at all my exes, right, there's not one that I can be on the phone with.
Exactly.
And
That is so really. So what did you eat today? Really? Or you always like
we were done.
Exactly.
We are done.
I blocked
Like
him.
life moves the fuck on. We are exes.
Exactly.
For a fucking I'm not doing it. I don't care where you work, what you're doing, whether you've got kids or not, whether you're married or not. I actually don't wish you well.
No. Let's be real.
I'm just being real. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I hope I'm better off than you are.
In life.
In
Absolutely.
life.
But what if you're the one who
Absolutely.
broke up with them?
Still.
Either way,
Still.
I broke up with you for a reason.
Because the question says maintaining a relationship or communication, was it? So it's like you're constantly
If you're maintaining,
talking
then
to
yes,
your
there's a
ex
problem.
for what?
There's a problem. You're clearly not over each other. Just go back together.
Where there's kids involved,
Fine.
I can
A
absolutely
business.
understand.
Business,
But I
fine.
understand. But there's nothing, there's air, there's an ocean, there's nothing. Maintaining a relationship with your ex, if there's no kids involved, I feel like it is unnecessary. There is no reason apart from kids for you to maintain a relationship with your ex. For me, it's a dead no.
I'm taking a deep breath because the baby mama ex thing, I get it. I get the respect you give the baby mamas. I get the fact that 3 a.m. calls, I've got to take the baby to the doctor. And if you ended up in a relationship with a guy who had children pre your relationship, you have to take that into consideration. You signed up for that. Exes without children, we kind of skirted around that. I realized that very quickly. We kind of went, hey, let's take the beeline on let's not talk about the exes that don't have kids. Me personally, you're an ex for a reason. I don't believe there should be any, I don't care about this amicable thing. We're amicable. Why are you amicable if you're not together? You broke up because you were not amicable.
Because me, I'm not friends with my exes. I've got a couple on social media, but we don't speak like that. So I'm with everyone on that one. I don't think you should be friends with your exes. Even with my daughter's mom, we're not friends, but we communicate when we have to, when it's relevant. So that one, I was here for the violence. Like, I was jumping in.
She's got mental health problems. Sometimes she just needs to reach out to me. So, just bear with me. I just have to just like.
No, her mental health has got absolutely nothing to do with you.
Because maybe
Again, we come back to what you said before, Miss Brenny.
Okay.
Boundaries.
Yes.
Boundaries.
Okay, for me personally, I'm not in that situation. Has no kids, but I always have this thing about, if you end up in a relationship with a person who has children, you must respect the mother of this guy's children.
Of course.
My grandmother used to say something to me. She said, you must love the man's children as much as you love him.
Exactly.
Because they are part of who he is.
Yeah.
And by default, as women, we must respect the women that give. For those of you who push children out, you must respect those women.
Of course.
Now, in some instances, those women do not behave in a way that creates
Respect. Yeah, absolutely.
But it is what it is. You dated a man that had children.
Exactly.
You're with a guy that has kids, then you have to deal with them in a particular way, and you just have to, as they say, allow it. You just have to let things
And
slide.
I'll give you an example. There was on social media, on one of these platforms, a person put a post up to say, I'm married to this man, and this man is ex has a son with him. Now, recently she reached out to him to say she was struggling with the school run, so he went and he bought her a car. Now, the current wife and his mum are now upset with the fact that he's bought her a car for the school run.
Option A, the man takes the child on the school run. Option B, you the wife takes the children on the school run. Personally, as his wife, I respect.
But then those are your kids, though.
See, I don't even have a
Now
husband,
imagine
but that's
what
it's
if
affecting me.
when different
that's
cities.
affected you. But then you've got to realize to say, okay, he's probably trying to keep the peace. And also as well, you've got to realize that you currently have this man. So you're enjoying what his other kid probably isn't, or your kids are enjoying one. So if he goes that extra mile to just try and make that other kid, because he also feels guilty with the fact that he doesn't stay with his child.
Is it really an extra mile though? Because
Right.
he wants this child to be treated as same as his other children are being
He's
treated.
facilitating
Yeah, so
equality.
if he's got the financial capability to do it, he's not taking away anything from his relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
That's
so-
what I mean. Like, sorry.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, because in that, if I had the money, like, you know, and I've got a child outside the marriage, I would do that. And like, you know what?
Because look at us. We're baby mamas, and we always complain that they don't have. I would be really grateful if you said, no, look, here's a car. There's no relationship.
Thank you.
There's no nothing. You're literally helping me out.
Yeah.
Here's a car. Take me Kela for school run
Cool,
and
yeah.
back. I've paid for it. It's done.
Done.
There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
From this side of I'd be grateful for it.
Yeah, me
As
too.
women,
too,
we
yeah.
have to stop that. He facilitated his children, not the woman.
You see?
He facilitated his child,
Yeah.
not the woman. You are perceiving it as the woman, but actually, if
It's
you were
his
in
children.
Put
Yeah.
yourself in the
Yeah.
woman's
His
shoes.
shoes,
You see,
yeah.
we struggle to do that as women. If I was in her position, I would be happy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna be anti another woman who has kids with my
him,
husband
yeah.
just because. No, I
Nah,
can't.
yeah, exactly.
This
So-
is why we are friends. I'm friends with certain women and other women. I can't be friends with them because this level of behavior is like no. He's facilitating his children. He's not facilitating the woman.
yeah.
But you also need to understand there's women that are not happy that their baby daddies
Have moved on.
have other kids, are living in a big house and all that. You know, women, we have this pettiness and this bitterness to us. We can carry a grudge for 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand? Did you hear when I said I don't wish my exes well?
Of course.
That's my petty side, right? That's me. So if there's women that will have children with this man and constantly taunt him using the kids to be even with the wife. So you also have to look at it that way, that is she then now taking the piss
That's it.
at this point, you know, because he bought me a Range Rover, she also wants something similar because she's the baby mama. You also need to realize women, I'm not about women being against other women. If it's reasonable,
Yes,
if it
of
makes
course.
sense, right, I can understand it. But some women are very vindictive, very bitter, very petty. You know, I'm not. I'm just saying some.
I understand that point. I completely get that point, but however, it is how much he allows her to get away with.
yes,
It depends on his reactions as well. Because she may want a Range Rover, but if he just gets a Ford Focus, what's the issue?
Yeah.
Because she's not going to say anything, isn't it?
But
Like-
sometimes, you need the Range Rover. Come on.
No, but I'm saying this is for the baby mama, not the
The
wife.
baby mama.
No, I'm not going to buy my baby
Yeah.
mama a Range Rover. Like, that doesn't make
I'm
sense.
coming from a situation where you know how some of these breakups are. You've worked with this man, you've toiled, you know, he set up
You gave him
business, and
this,
then
yeah.
you
But
done
then
this together.
that's,
and then
that's where child support and everything else comes in. Because if you're getting child support and this man is just out of the kindness of his heart has bought you a car.
He's bought you.
It-
I think like what Miss B said as well. If there's that respect between I'm respecting you as a baby mama, and you know that I'm in a relationship with your ex, and there's that respect. If he then bought her a car, that's fine.
On the flip side, let's say you're the more successful woman.
Yeah.
I'm the baby father. Let's say you're touring, whatever. And I want a car. Would you get me a car? See women. See women.
No, wait.
You have the kids.
I've got the kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you've got the kids.
I-
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
you are working.
If you've got the
You are
kids,
working. I've got the
Okay,
kids.
okay.
Yes, I've got the kids.
You've got the
Yeah.
kids and
Yeah,
everything.
no,
So
I'll
I've
do it.
spoken down, I've
If
got
you
the
have the
kids.
kids, absolutely.
Yeah, because we've got that relationship where I'm like, you know what, yeah, you do your thing.
He might
I'll-
like it. He might like it.
It's the same level of respect. And
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all fair.
Because we are this is the thing, you know, co-parenting is a new word. It's a
Yes.
relatively new word. It's about 15 years old. But co-parenting is something that a lot of families, minority families have had to deal with, black families particularly.
Struggling with
Now, co-parenting is a word because it's about the relationship that we all
That's
have
it.
Yeah.
together.
That's it.
And it's about, again, we get back to honesty, openness, communication.
respect.
Respect.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into part 1. I hope you all enjoyed it, and keep your eyes peeled for part 2, because part 2 coming up real soon. And also please like, share and subscribe. Would be very appreciative of your support. Thank you.